Greetings Titans, welcome to our EV charging guide for dummies. I'm Dave, this is Dave Takes It On. So you've just ordered your first EV, it'll be here in a few days or a couple of weeks. How am I going to charge it? Can I charge at home? What charger is best? What are all those cables in the boot? What tariff should I select? Do I need to spend £1,000 on a home charger? Well, these and many other questions face you as you await delivery. And now is exactly the time to start. But where do you start? Okay, let's go step by step through all you need to know and do before your EV even arrives. Well, the first really easy decision is, can you charge at home? This is normally a simple yes or no. If you cannot charge at home, please follow the link down below as you get your own very specific video for those who cannot charge at home, much more detailed. All the rest of you, those who can charge at home, please keep watching. The first big shock to the system is the sheer choice of how and where you can charge your EV. In the old days with a petrol or diesel car, the choice was really simple. You choose where to fill your tank at some petrol station, you drove there, filled up, paid, drove home. Prices at all petrol stations were fairly similar. If the average price is, say, £1.40, you'll never find anyone offering it for £1. Now, when you charge an electric vehicle, you can do a whole lot better than that. There are many places which charge an extortionate price for charging your new EV. These are the equivalent of filling up with petrol at the motorway services. You just don't do it. But at the other end, you now have a choice of locations where you can go and charge your EV totally free of charge. And there are far more of these than you could possibly imagine. You don't get that with petrol, free petrol. Well, if you're wondering why we're talking about public charging when you can charge at home, just realise that if you have access to totally free charging, that is far cheaper than even charging at home. So, where can you get this free charging? Well, when you buy your EV, it's highly likely it will include some sort of offer towards charging it. If you choose a Nissan or Renault, the dealers generally offer completely free charging at the dealership. If you choose a Tesla, you get free access to cheap charging through the Tesla supercharger network. Not free, but cheap. But if you buy any Vauxhall, then currently you get 12 months free charging with the car. And I don't care which utility company you're with, they'll never offer you 12 months free charging at home. So for these EV owners, you can put off any decision about charging at home for anything up to the next 12 months. If they're not suitable for you, or if you don't get any free charging, you may be offered a heavily discounted price for the first 12 months charging. Hyundai, for example, offers a free membership to Ionity chargers, which can bring the price down dramatically. Please explore all of these possibilities before deciding to charge at home, even if it's only for the first year. Now, when deciding whether you can charge at home, it is not always as simple as you might think. If you live in a terraced house and you have no off-street parking, you may be required to install some sort of device that allows you to safely and legally get the cable across, over or under the pavement so that you can plug your car in safely. While these are readily available and relatively cheap, they are becoming much more popular. But a number of councils don't allow them. Therefore, in that case, home charging may not be possible for you at this stage. Keep checking about these alternatives because that might change in the future. So at this point, let's assume you have a home of some sort, you have an off-street parking space where you can provide an electricity supply suitable for charging your EV. What are your choices now? Almost all new EVs come with a bundle of cables in the boot or the front boot at the front of the car. And normally one of these will be a cable, usually blue in colour, for using with fast chargers. At this stage, that doesn't help you at all, as you've got nothing at home to plug it into. Now, many EVs now also come with a portable charger. This will have a 13 amp 3-pin plug on one end, it will have a charger block in the middle, and it'll have a Type 2 plug that plugs into the socket on your car at the other end. It will typically have a rating of about 3 kilowatts. Now, if your car does not include one, they are readily available, eBay, Amazon, a lot of other sources, and generally cost about £100 to £150. This will be by far the simplest form of charger for your EV. All you need is your portable charger supplied with the car, or one that you've bought since, and a suitable socket to plug it into. Now, if you have a garage already got an electricity supply, then you almost certainly already have an electrical socket in the garage that you might use now for power tools or electric lawnmower. In most cases, this will be totally suitable. If you don't have an electricity supply in your garage, or indeed you don't even have a garage, then you might already have an external weatherproof protected socket on the outside wall of your house. This too might be suitable. I say very carefully might be suitable because any existing socket you already have will almost certainly not have been designed for recharging an EV at a high power rating over a prolonged period of time. Having spent a lot of money on your new EV, it is foolish in the extreme to plug that into an electricity supply that is not capable of safely providing the power that your car will demand. In the worst case scenario, doing that could cause a fire. Well, for this reason, to protect your investment, any socket that you are proposing to plug your car charger into must be checked out by a suitably qualified and certified electrician. This service of checking a single circuit rather than the whole house is quite a common one for electricians and is generally relatively cheap, probably well under £100. And the result of the inspection will be either, yeah, it's perfectly safe to use for your EV, here is a certificate stating this, or you should not use this circuit for plugging an EV as it is illegal or doesn't comply with current regulations or represents a serious fire hazard. If that is the case, and you want to charge your car using the portable charger, you'll need the electrician to either upgrade the existing supply or install a new one specifically for your EV. Again, this is not a hugely expensive operation. Once you have a suitable power supply on the outside of your house or the inside of your garage, that is all that many EV drivers actually need. When plugged in, the car will charge at a rate of around 3 kilowatts, and it will add somewhere between 5 and 10 miles range for every hour it's plugged in. So if you have a daily commute of, let's say, 10 miles each way, you'll get back each night needing to replace 20 miles of range. And that will take between 1 and 2 hours, maybe 3, to top it back up to full. If at the weekend you drive 100 miles, then when you get back, you can plug your car in, and it's likely to be full again by Monday morning when you set off for work. Many people who know absolutely no better fall about laughing at the idea that your EV might take 3 or even 10 hours to recharge the battery. But look at it simply. If you get back on a Sunday afternoon, you're not going to be using your car again till Monday morning. You might have 10, 15 or more hours ahead of you where you could just leave it plugged in. That's normally plenty of time to fully recharge your EV. And even if it's not quite fully charged when you leave on a Monday morning, as long as you've got more than enough to get you to and from work, you can plug it in when you get back on Monday afternoon or evening and leave it plugged in overnight until Tuesday. And then it probably will be full. And by the way, it makes absolutely no difference if it completes the charging in 1 hour or 10 hours. If you wake up every day to a car that's fully charged, that's fine. Now, don't worry about tariffs and utility companies for now. We'll cover this in a bit more detail a little bit later on. For the moment, we're just looking at how you can charge your car, not how much it will cost you. So just bear with us and keep watching. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please click the like button. And if you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe. It's totally free and it really helps the channel enormously if people do subscribe. And you can also click the notification bell so that we automatically notify you every time we launch a new video. So why do some people spend £1,000 or more on a home charger? And the silly answer is most of them didn't need to. If you only ever do 10, 20, 30 miles a day, plug in every evening when you get back, your car will always have a full battery the next morning. And even if you do a long drive at the weekend, say 100, 150 miles, then plug it in when you get back on the Sunday, it will probably still be ready for you full on Monday morning. Where anything else is needed comes if you do far more miles than this. If you regularly drive 150 miles in a day, and you do that several days or every day a week, and you don't get back till say 9 o'clock in the evening, and you need to leave again the next morning at 8 a.m, you probably will not be able to charge your car fast enough on one of these portable chargers at 3 kilowatts so that the battery is always full when you leave. In this case, you have two choices. You could decide that on those days when you do the high mileage, you just top up outside at a public charger sometime during the day. Or you could upgrade your home charger to a much faster rate. The next step up is called the Commando charger. Again, a suitable supply needs to be provided, capable of the higher power, has a different plug by the way, and definitely must be checked or installed by a qualified electrician. But Commando portable chargers are rated from 3 kilowatts right up to 7.4 kilowatts on a domestic supply in an ordinary home. They go up to 22 kilowatts on a 3-phase, but most houses don't have those. They are a little dearer than the 3 kilowatt units that go into a 3-pin plug, but a Commando unit will offer up to 7.4 kilowatts, and that will charge your car at the rate of more than 20 miles per hour plugged in. And so with most EVs having a range of 200 miles, just slightly more, from absolute zero state of charge to full, the charging can be achieved in around 10 hours, so plug in each night before 10 p.m, and your car will always be full and ready to go each morning at 8 a.m. Well, here the cost is rising because these are a little bit dearer. For a Commando charger, you're looking at £200, maybe £300 for the charger, and a couple of hundred or so for the installation. But it does offer much faster charging. Is there any need for a more expensive wall-mounted home charger? Well, possibly, but not normally to get faster charging speed. See, 7 kilowatts is the maximum reasonable limit that domestic houses can achieve. I say maximum reasonable. It is theoretically possible to install a much more powerful charger, and that goes to silly levels with one company, and they're offering a genuine 50 kilowatt DC charger for your home. But that's not going to cost you £1,000. Well, a professionally installed home 7 kilowatt wall charger offers a number of advantages over the Commando units. The first one is that most wall-mounted home chargers are equipped with permanently attached cables. It's called tethered, and they're ready to use at all times. Well, second, the Commando unit needs to be plugged in and unplugged each time and stored in your boot. This can be annoying over time, particularly if it's raining and you've got your cables being dragged across the drive or a garden that's muddy. You have to coil it up, wet cable, mud, stow it in the bag and then in your car. Convenience is a wonderful thing, but it comes at a price. A typical wall charger is likely to cost from about £400, but they are available for approaching £1,000, but they just have additional features. The permanently installed wall chargers offer far more features than the Commando portable chargers. Now, don't be swayed by claims of super-duper all-singing and dancing safety features. All EV chargers will meet the minimum standards, as no qualified, certified and experienced electrician should ever consider supplying and installing anything else. The total bill, charger and installation is likely to be more than about £600 at the budget end and no more than £1,500 at the top end. These top-end models will offer features like app control, schedule charging times to match your off-peak rates, which we cover later, and much more data as to exactly what's going on. However, if you're like me, My smart meter, the monitor I got, was the latest toy for a few days, but now, forever after, it's been sitting in a drawer with a flat battery. So likewise, your all singing, all dancing wall charger might have features that you've paid extra for that you never use. Oh, let me give you an example. If you use a utility company like Octopus Energy for your electricity supply, this is one of the most popular providers for EV owners, which we'll cover shortly. Then they have an app that allows you to control virtually all wall chargers. Indeed, you may be required by Octopus to disable features from your EV or your EV charger to allow their app to take control of their intelligent charging sessions. Well, in reality, just go for reliability rather than features unless you know you will actually need them. An example here might be if you have or intend to add photovoltaic PV panels to your home and a home storage battery. Here the additional features are of much greater import, maybe vital. Well, finally we get to tariffs. Well, let's set the benchmark first. The current price cap for standard variable rate tariffs is 22.36 pence per kilowatt hour. That's available 24 hours a day to anyone. And for many people, this is what they use. So let's look at that in comparison with the petrol car you're giving up. The average miles per gallon quoted by our own Government Department of Transport is 52.6 miles per gallon for petrol, 56.1 miles per gallon for diesel. With a litre of petrol today, according to the RAC Fuel Watch, costing £1.37.7p per litre, that's 1.377 times 4.55 litres in a gallon, £6.27 a gallon, or 12 pence a mile. Charging an EV is not 100% efficient. There is a slight loss to heat, amounting to about 5%. In other words, to get 1 kilowatt hour stored in your battery, you'll need to put in about 1.05 kilowatt hours. Well, the average EV does 4 miles per kilowatt hour. Therefore, rounded up by this 5% for inefficiencies, we get the standard variable price, 22.36, divided by 4, rounded up is 6 pence per mile. Thus, an EV plugged into standard variable tariff costs around half as much per mile to drive as the average petrol car. But you can do even better. There are a myriad of EV tariffs offering special low-cost overnight cheap rates, down to as little as 3.8 pence per kilowatt hour. The average hovers around 7 pence per kilowatt hour and can supply that rate for a period of between 5, 6 or 7 hours each night. With a portable charger offering about 5 miles per hour and a Commando or fixed wall charger offering 20 odd miles per hour plugged in, you can easily add up to 100, maybe 150 miles each night. And at 7 pence, available from British Gas, E.ON, Octopus, amongst others, the cost per mile rounded up, 7 divided by 4 is 2 pence a mile. Thus, an EV charged at home on a cheap rate tariff costs about 1/6 the price as running a car on petrol. Can you charge only at home? Yeah, many people do. Many people only drive distances that are always within the range of their EV, so never need to charge anywhere else, ever. Also, if they visit family, they might be able to charge there at standard tariff at worst, or cheap off-peak if they too have an EV. In time, with more and more EVs being sold, this is a valid method that most EV drivers will probably employ. Offer your visitors use of your charger and they offer you theirs, even if it's just for a few hours during the visit. Even a peak rate of anything up to 30 pence per kilowatt hour that's offered by E.ON, it will prove cheaper than using public chargers. It's more convenient as well. You could easily add more than 100 miles range this way. By the way, if your friend or relatives do not have an EV and you visit them regularly, maybe try talking them into getting one next time they change their car. Well, for those who venture further away, you'll have to use public chargers, and these will be at rates ranging from totally free to more than 85 pence per kilowatt hour. But if you only ever use them just once or twice a year, it's probably easier just to find a convenient, cheaper one and use that, rather than spending time and effort searching out the very cheapest if it's miles off your route. Wall-mounted EV chargers in the UK must be installed by a qualified electrician, will generally cost between £500 and £1,500. But be on the lookout for a deal. British Gas use Hive connected chargers And the offer available today is supply and install for £739. That's quite a good rate. But you also get 1 year free charging from Hive. Well, in some cases, your current electrical system may not be up to the latest standards. Well, for example, you may have an old-style fuse box with the physical plug-in fuses, and it's illegal or contrary to current regulations to connect anything else like an EV charger directly into these. Here, an upgrade of some sort will be required, but this might be as simple as just adding an additional consumer unit that does meet current standards alongside your old unit and connecting your wall charger to that. Your electrician will advise you, and you will need to have it certified on completion. Now, this will normally be done by the installing electrician, but if you want to, an independent safety inspection of the whole house is generally available for around about £100 to £150. Well, for current tariffs available in the UK and the latest offers like free EV chargers or free EV charging, we release a monthly price guide. If you want to see that, please subscribe so that you don't miss it. Now, all of this can be completed before your EV even arrives, so you're off to a running start when it does. If your chosen charging method is not complete when your EV arrives, you'll need to make alternative arrangements until it is. That'll probably just be public charging. Just grin and bear the extra cost. Look forward to the convenience and savings when it is finally ready. It is difficult to explain the sheer joy you get from the hassle-free convenience of home charging. You come home, plug it in, 2 seconds, and you wake up each day to a car with a fully charged battery. No more trips to the petrol station ever. Well, if you're in any doubt as to which method best suits your needs, I would always just look at the cheapest available to get you started until you gain more experience and discover exactly what you do need. In many cases, this will be the portable charger that came with your EV and an existing suitable socket you already have. If and when you grow out of this, it's always handy to keep this for an emergency if the subsequent system ever fails. Nothing lasts forever. Or for if you visit family and friends, you might want to use it there. Go and enjoy your EV. I'm Dave.